Hello, it's JANG here with a look at the Switch Fighter from the Mars mission sub-theme. And right from the start, obviously what you're seeing here is not exactly what you saw in the video thumbnail if you check that out. Well, spoiler alert, this transforms, so let's see more about that. Pilot in place, you bring this very shallow canopy piece down. I really like the shaping of that, but it really forces your pilot to lean way back, and he's not able to reach forward to the control sticks there, or yoke, whatever that is, but he is able to fit under there. This is a little bit awkward to me because it adds a little bit of sleek nature to the front. You know, it kind of tapers off the nose, but when you look at it from the side, it's just so thin. It's odd, but you know, I think it looks good from most angles until you actually really see how it's made. Most of the shaping of the hull or the fuselage I like quite a bit. Sorry that I've got no stickers for these two large curved pieces on the back. Unfortunately, I got this from a very large lot of a whole bunch of sets that I got at the same time from the same Bricklink seller used, and this particular seller was very experienced, made a ton of mistakes. Every single thing that I got had problems with it, so this one had the wrong sticker. So I just put on some temporary ones that have no stickers at all, but just imagine that the shaping of the orange bits from stickers would kind of go back into here and flow back into there a little bit better. Fortunately, I do have the correct stickers for these little canards here, which are very nice. A couple of minifig accessories up there on the top, a couple of modern flick-fire missiles up on the top as well, which is interesting because Mars mission also on some of their sets used this proprietary system for flick-fire missiles, which were only used on a couple of sets in total. So it's interesting to see the proper ones that they settled on. A couple of missiles that you can remove here, which are not flick-fire, but you know, just kind of more of a standard thing. You pull it off, and this is the standardized tube that was used throughout Mars mission. That was used for transporting these little sled things, which could hold crystals that you had harvested, or you could put a single small alien back there who was captured. And yeah, 6 wheels in total, wheels, tires, you know, they're hard plastic pieces, a little bit tall, I would say, a little bit high off the ground. So the gap in here is a little bit much, but that leads us into the actual transforming feature. So those are going to move back. Here's what happens. Let me show you what this looks like from underneath. These are clipped in. These side bits are clipped in right there and right there. You just pull out. It's very easy in that way. Pull out. Just keep this consistent, like so. Now these become kind of like engines, and then you can also bring out these wing tips. I like to leave these wing tips angled just a little bit forward. You know, it gives it a little extra attitude, but you can also bring them out straight like this. And then there's one last thing that you can do with the whole thing. Another clip inside of here. I'm just gonna slide all of this, so all this can be slid back, and that's what you saw in the thumbnail. So I'm just gonna leave these forward like that because I like that. And yeah, now that's a proper spaceship. You know, that's why they call it the Switch Fighter. It switches back and forth between these two modes. And I think it looks okay having these on the back. The fact that they're hard plastic pieces makes it a little bit easier to suspend disbelief that they are, you know, supposed to be tires. I think it looks pretty good. I think that overall, this whole thing has really good play value. I think it would be a really fun thing for a kid to play with, and going back and forth between the modes is easy. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with it. I think that overall it was designed pretty nicely well, and it's not too fragile. The thing that I like the least is just this little bit here, but other than that, pretty well done. Since the set focuses on the human vehicle or craft, they give you a small alien craft off to the side, and it's not too small. You know, they easily could have made something smaller than this. I really like the stickers. I'm not a big fan of stickers in general, just the application of them, but when they look good, I appreciate that. And these, I think, look good. I think most of the stickers that they actually made for this series look really good and fit in well and add to the designs. However, if you wanted to leave them off, you don't lose too much. You still have the overall look of the thing. This actually makes good use of different colors. You know, Lego sometimes does things where they have colors included in a set that don't really make sense, just for the sake of sticking with their policy of reducing the difficulty of finding parts. especially for younger folks. And they end up, with red pieces, yellow pieces, and especially blue pieces that just stick out and they don't seem to make sense. And tan they use a lot nowadays. This one uses these red pieces, which actually become part of the color scheme of the whole thing. So they really just embrace that alternate color. However, this blue bit on the front doesn't look good and it doesn't work well either. This I don't like. It's just free floating. I don't think that was a good choice there. If you pull that out just a little bit, it doesn't look like it. Oh, there we go. Then you're able to hold the crystal in place. But as designed and as it's supposed to be used, it just flops around. So that's not very cool. This is good. Opens up, gives you your little space to put your little guy who can also be captured in this set. You could shoot this down and then capture him, put him in the tube. And that's pretty much it. And it's nice to get these little flame bits in transparent green. Last up, a closer look at the two figures. I can pull up the visor so you can see which face is being used there. And as a matter of fact, I think it's useful to take that entire helmet off so you can see more of the detail there, especially with just how expressive that face is. Also has the headset bit, the microphone boom coming around the side, and his eyebrows are pretty noticeable and pretty well defined there. The aliens, the lesser aliens, the smaller aliens like this one on the right in this series, to me were very meh. Two pieces in total. The only articulation is to just bend the whole thing forward and back. It works, it does the trick. Tiny little bit of glow-in-the-dark material just in the very center of the torso, so that just that little center bit, you can see it's a little bit milky, a little bit cloudy, just in there, glows a little bit. If you charge it up quite brightly, but this is a little bit on the old side now, so it no longer charges up very much. But yeah, they're very forgettable to me, and I think the human figures in this series were pretty good, and this one's no exception. That's the MX-41 Switch Fighter from Mars Mission from 2008. Thank you for watching, and please leave your thoughts, what you think about the set, by leaving a comment on the video. Talk to you again soon.